things that I had to change in my life to really kind of pursue filmmaking, just giving up a lot of free time. I have friends who get home from their job and they play video games all night, which is fine. I'm not like bashing video games. But for me, I get home from work and I kind of just keep working on my own projects. And I think, sacrificing free time and sacrificing the comfort of just laying on the couch for the rest of the night, for me, that's not really an option. I want to spend my time learning. I want to spend my time shooting stuff. I want to spend my time editing stuff and coloring stuff and like figuring out what works and what doesn't. And I think that that's something that people maybe aren't as willing to do is give up free time. Really, this is just something that I've had to work very hard, to do. And I've been making videos, for a while and practicing and doing test shots and figuring out which lenses look better, blah, 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 all that stuff. Like, that's just been a lot of work put in behind the scenes. I see it as my free time is all the extra time in my day that I get to work on this stuff.
I knew I wanted to get into behind the scenes at least when I was a kid. And that was because I fell in love with monsters and comic book heroes and all that stuff. So I loved the fantastic at a young age and wanted to go work for Disney. To me, my dream job was going to be when the park closes at night and people go underground and they go and start fixing animatronic things and rewirings. I thought that would be the best job in the world. So I started learning makeup and special effects and all that when I was about 13 and did that for a number of years. I wanted to be an effects artist for a while. But that kind of went into the bigger picture of anything behind the scenes. So that led to the directing and the writing and the producing and all that kind of stuff. So the love of the technical side is what really kind of gave that to me. And really it was, I guess, when I started my first company, and that was when I was about 21. I stopped working for everybody else and started my own thing.
I was still in high school. I was working in a TV studio. And I was editing videos, I was on-air talent, and I was putting programs together. I really wanted to go to Los Angeles. So I went out to LA, and the first things that I was doing was I was writing, and I was writing spec scripts, and I was sending those out, and I was fine-tuning my writing. I really wanted to be, at 18, I wanted to be Quentin Tarantino. I wanted to be a writer-director and make these kind of like edgy films, but yet with more of a message than Quentin was doing. And I just kind of stayed around movie people. I got on a couple of sets, but it wasn't until my first daughter was born. And my dad was kind of holding her up and he said, "I wonder what she'll be." And I said, "She'll be anything she wants to be in this world." And I realized that I wasn't fully embracing that I wanted to be a filmmaker. I was just kind of like, well, if an opportunity comes by, I'll just help out. And it was, if I want to show her that you got to fight for your dreams and go for those opportunities, then I started to seize it. So not having much of a networking connection, I decided almost the same thing like the high school TV program. I'll just volunteer. So I came up with a short project and I just, asked the community, would you help this brand new filmmaker? So I just kind of eventually jumped into it and made my first movie.
At the time that I learned about the behind the scenes of filmmaking, again, I'd always wanted to be an actress. And I kind of gave it up. But at the time when I learned about, when I met Steve and he was making these films, he had his own production company, and I started helping with some of the stuff. I was an administrator of a coaching program at NASA. You may have heard of NASA. I think they went to the moon or something. And I was a stand-up comedian as well. And literally, I just quit my job at NASA and said, this is way more fun and far more interesting and for a lot less money. So I'm going to go do this instead. And yeah, that's what I was doing.